Hi guys, in this session we're going to study about humidity. Humidity is the concentration of water vapor present in the air. Now this diagram tells us about how humidity is formed with a cup of coffee. Let us see what is adsorption and absorption. Adsorption, they are molecules other to the surface of the phase. They form a thin layer on the surface of any material. Absorption is molecules are drawn into bulk of the phase. That is, the molecules they get observed by the material. It's as simple as dipping a cloth inside a bucket. Absolute humidity. Now this diagram tells you the absolute humidity, where this is an air parcel consisting of nitrogen and oxygen, and you can also see how the water vapor is settled on top of the molecules. Amount of water vapor present in each unit of volume of air or gas. Moving on to the measurement of humidity, you have three major methods. The first is dry and wet bulb psychrometers. Second is resistive and capacitive type hygrometers, and the third is dew cell. Yes, let's start about the psychrometers. As you see the three major pictures, they tell us how a psychrometer will look in real time. Now, psychrometer measures humidity by taking both a wet bulb and a dry bulb temperature reading. With those two values known, the other properties of the air, including its moisture content, can be determined by computation or by reading a psychrometric chart. Moving into the dry and wet bulb psychrometers. Who invented it? Yes, it is John Leslie in the period of 1766 to 1832. He said that some humidity measurements depend upon the temperature difference of two thermometers, while others rely upon the expansion or contraction of different materials. Under this, we have another type called as sling psychrometers, where it is used to measure relative humidity or how much moisture is in the air. This is the diagram what you'll be drawing it even in your exam papers. As said in the previous slide, it has two thermometers. One is the wet bulb and another one is with a dry bulb. This is how it's going to look in real time. Yes, how it works. Now, basically it is measuring of humidity by connecting two thermometers together. The second is, as I've told you, one is going to be a normal, another one is going to be a cloth wick attached. The normal thermometer is the dry and the cloth wick is wet. Now, that is what is mentioned in the third also. Now moving on to the next point, if the air is very dry, then the thermometer with the cloth wick on it will become very cold because water on it has evaporated. And the last is, if it is going to be humid, the thermometer with the cloth wick will stay the same temperature as the other thermometer. This is how a dry and a well pump is going to look. See, the dry doesn't have a cloth wicked into it. Here you have a cloth wicked into it. The cloth is supposed to be wet. Now, these are the readings what are going to be obtained with the help of a dry bulb temperature in degrees. Now, these are the different degrees which tell you about the dew point temperature in centigrade. Moving on to the hygrometers. Hygrometers is used for measuring the humidity present in the surrounding environment. The physical properties of the material changes by effect of humidity and its principle. It's used in hygrometer for the measurement. Now this is how an hygrometer is used to look. As you see here, it's used to measure temperature in your meteorological areas. Moving on to the hygrometers, we have two types of measurements. The one is absolute humidity, shows the amount of water vapor present per unit volume. The next is relative humidity. The relative humidity is the ratio of actual water pressure to the maximum water vapor pressure reaches in the substance at the particular temperature. Now the classifications of hygrometer, you have resistive type. Now See, this is supposed to be a resistive hygrometer where you have metal electrodes and a film. It is a conducting film which is going to be present in between your metal electrodes. Now, the resistance of the conducting film also varies with the amount of humidity which is going to be present in your. Now the same diagram is given here for your instance, and here what happens is that the moisture gets absorbed by the lithium chloride depending upon the relative humidity. If the relative humidity is high, the lithium chloride will absorb more moisture and the resistance increases. The same thing happens over here. If there is going to be a change in resistance, it is measured by the alternating current to the bridge. And the obstructions occur and flows if current shows the value of resistance or the value of relative. Now, the next type is capacitive hygrometer, where here you have a capacitance material. In between that, you have an hygrometer material used as a dielectric. Now, the capacitive hygrometer gives a very accurate result. It is made up of hygroscopic material present in between your metal electrodes. The electronic circuit here, it measures the change in. Now this diagram tells you how it's going to work. The first diagram says that the capacitance changes with change when there is going to be an overlap of plate. Here it says that the capacitance changes with changes in its distance. Here it changes when a dielectric material is inserted into it. Here it happens that a change occurs when there is going to be a change in the dielectric material. Yes. To the end of humidity 1, and this will be continued in the next session as humidity 2. Thank you.